Non-believers or people that don't know yet are the weeds.
Okay. When the wheat sprouted and formed,
Satan came.
heads, then weeds also appeared. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody grew together
Mhm.
on it. The wheat and the weeds grew together. The owner's servant came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in this field? Where did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
Yeah.
basically what you're saying on it. "No," he answered. Oh, wait. The servant asked, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" Here's where we're getting into a key. All right? On it. Do you want us to go pull them up? Remember this part. "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds up, you may root up the wheat with them. Let them both grow together until harvest."
Mhm. See, yeah.
So, you want to explain that to me?
So
Why is that so huge right there? That part.
because some of the wheat may not be rooted in all the way, and the weeds can come and give them some advice that ain't right and help pull them up, or because they're not bloomed all the way, wheat and weeds can look the same.
They do, pretty much. If you look up a picture of weed and wheat.
Until they're fully grown, they look the same.
Mhm.
Okay. What do you think, John?
What am I thinking? A
So
lot.
Satan came.
So unless you're fully rooted in, there's a chance you could be pulled back into the worldly view.
Okay. So this is the biggest one right here. My big thing is the servants asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?"
He said no.
Who's the servants?
Well,
Servants are us.
Well, it could be, the believers.
What are we supposed to be?
We're the ones spreading the word.
What does Jesus say? What does Jesus say whose the servants are? Spending time. He says, "Some of you will be great teachers, some of you will be priests, pastors, but the greatest among you are servants."
Yeah.
Ah,
So if we're pulling out the bad ones, why aren't we teaching them
yeah.
and helping them grow into being wheat?
I was just looking at this completely, breaking it down completely. The man, Jesus, servants, us, the weeds and the wheats are people that are catching on and people that won't catch on. But it says that the weeds may wait. While you're pulling up the weeds, you may pull up the wheat. So it sounds like the weeds and the wheat could be rooting together at the same time, but so it all depends if I don't know. If
let me ask you this question, okay? All right. If you just meet somebody, how far do you know how far their walk is with God?
You don't know how far anybody's walked.
How do you know how far Jesus has worked on in his heart?
You don't.
Who's the only one that could tell a weed from a wheat?
Jesus or servant? Well, servants. Well, it says right here the servants.
The servants asked him, "Do you want us to go out and pull them up?" Jesus says, "No," he answered, "because while you're pulling up the weeds, you may root up the wheat. You might pull up the wheat."
So Jesus is telling the servants, let them grow and help them grow. keep watering them, keep treating them as their wheat.
Oh, so the servants don't know, but the harvesters do.
Yes.
Jesus does.
Which it sounds like the harvesters. Jesus.
We'll get to the harvesters in a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. But Jesus does. That's the thing about it. And so many times as Christians, we want to put labels on people.
Yep.
Or and we want to point out where they are. And it's not our job to do it. It isn't.
Nope.
We don't know if they're wheat or weeds.
Oh.
We're supposed to just
On it. What, did you have a comment over there?
Oh, I had a lot of people join. I have 17.
I didn't know.
had 17.
But
Crazy.
that's the thing about it.
It's growing.
Is too many times we are pointing fingers, and we're too busy pointing fingers, and we ain't even worried about our walk. And that's what I'm trying to really get at.
Mhm.
Is we ain't worried about our walk. We ain't worried about our foundation, our heart, our thing. You know. How can I say this? I go out in the world all the time, and and my hardest problem is worrying about my foundation, my thing. Because you're out in the world all the time, and it's just going to drag you down. The world's going to tell you you're no good, all this stuff on it. And being a witness, being a light, you have to keep in the Word. You got to keep going, and it's how can I say it? That's a task itself on it and stuff. Only God knows if they're wheat and weeds.
Mhm.
exactly.
Well,
It's not up to us to judge. It's just up to us to teach.
yeah.
So why do you think he says let both grow together until harvest?
Because the weeds could be wheat. Because you don't know if it's a weed or wheat until it's grown.
Well, this is God. Do you think he could go just like that and all the weeds are gone?
Yeah, could.
Why does he say
'Cause we
let
can
both
turn
grow until harvest?
Because you can turn wheat into wheat.
Well, we don't want to rip out the good ones
If
also.
you
With it.
pulled the weeds in roots or wheat, you could destroy the foundation that you started. That's how I see it. If you keep nothing
Nourishing.
nourishing it, the good will overcome the bad. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, you're fine. You're just
good.
getting to the point that I'm trying to make right now. So
Because one hand washes the other.
on it. Why? That's right. Why does Jesus not just? He says, "Let them grow together."
Good points.
Well, also if you have multiple weeds connected to one weed, sharing the root, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and pull the weeds, you're pulling it's
You gotta love parables.
oh yeah.
You get so much out of one parable.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you could accidentally pull like when you go to pull the bad, you could accidentally pull a good with it. So it's like taking the good away when it could go with the good and bad to the bad and good to the good
Good.
in a way.
Let's try to think. I'll try to think of it the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
But what takes something to grow?
Sun, water,
What takes something to grow? What takes a plant to grow?
food,
Well,
water,
What's
Foundation.
nutrients
Yeah. there you go.
nutrients. Yeah.
on it? Maybe the weeds will be influenced by the good nutrients.
Mhm.
Is that what? That's right. I don't. I switch it to people.
I like
That's
looking
my-
at a diagram.
Yeah, you like looking at it. But think about it. As you go out, and this is okay. Let's switch this up. All right. As you go out,
Mhm.
isn't people affected by you? Isn't people encouraged by you
Very much
Yeah.
so.
on it? Do you know where they are in their walk?
It's not it's
Yeah.
not our to judge.
Yeah.
So with it.
Yeah, but aren't people come up to you and say, "John, you're just so amazing." I know because they get it
Yeah.
read to me all the time now.
Yeah.
On it, John, you're so
Here's
amazing
a lot.
that you got such a heart for God
Mhm.
and stuff. They act like
Oh yeah.
on it
Maybe the good could wash out the bad.
and stuff. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And that's what I'm trying to get. And how do you know where they are at their walk?
We don't have to
No,
know where
you
they
don't.
are.
Yep. That's like the way I look in this parable is a lot of like not judging. Like that's one of the biggest messages is what I'm looking at is not judging.
Don't get me wrong. No. There's ways of doing it and loving doing it.
Mhm.
Okay? All right?
Mm-hmm.
On it. But we have to get past this barrier where we realize that we really can't. That's God working on somebody's heart. We can't really point fingers because once we start pointing fingers, that's where judging starts.
Yeah.
All right? And that's where loving ends and judging starts.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer that, judging's pointing fingers.
Hmm.
I'm a firm
Yeah,
believer
this
of
way,
how
somebody
Jesus
has to
Christ
answer.
did it. And like, I'll say this right now, like I probably said this many times before. There's ways of doing it without in love. Jesus Christ went to the lady at the well.
Mhm.
Told you this many stories. I love this story. And what he do? He didn't point no fingers. He asked questions. He said, "Go get your husband." Jesus is God. He knows everything. And the lady goes to her. The lady goes to him. "I don't have a husband. I have." And he goes,
Man.
"Yeah." He goes, "I know you don't." And he basically told her that he knows what she was doing, but that her find it in her heart.
It opened up
On it.
her
He
eyes.
basically did this just with a question and stuff. Then
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But here's where we go. Okay. Let them both grow together until harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvester, first collect the weeds. All right. So, who's the harvesters?
Well, on the way I'm looking at it, I think it goes back to Jesus.
And see, there's actually, I don't know, I'll just put it out there. There's actually scripture on it. Jesus brings this up a couple times that when he goes to harvest, when it's harvest time, he will send his angels out to harvest.
There you go.
And they will pull on it.
So his angels, or I was thinking, I wasn't thinking us.
Yeah.
I was thinking they've already been judged in a way. So looking at it.
And first they will collect the weeds and tie them up in bundles to be burned.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll gather the wheat and bring them into the barn.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
It's
where
my
it gets
barn.
might get
My
touchy,
barn.
people.
This is my barn.
This is where it might get touchy, so just bear with me. Just going with the parable. Come on. First he collects the weeds. Who's the weeds?
Who's the weeds?
Who's the weeds?
Non-good.
Non-believers.
Non-believers
yes.
in a way, yeah.
And ties them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Bundles up. Send them to be burned.
Mm-hmm.
Non-believers into hell.
That's and I don't mean to say it, and I know people ain't gonna like it, but it's not gonna be a good place. Yeah. Everybody says, when I get to hell, save me a beer or something. There's not gonna be no party down there on it.
Yep.
It comes to the facts on it, and I'd love to get in my favorite parable on it. Maybe we'll do it sometime, but hell's not gonna be a keg party.
Yep.
Hell's not going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lake of fire, gnashing of teeth. That's such some of it. Storage full. I'll look it up.
No. Oh, yep.
So, hey, you got it on camera.
Everybody's seen my big old belly then, huh?
Then he'll gather the wheat and bring them into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
You want to explain that?
My
one?
barn. Mine says my
My
barn.
barn?
It's my
My barn.
Oh,
My barn. It does. Mine. I'm sorry.
okay.
You got that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Heaven. Bring it back to my barn. The kingdom. His kingdom.
Yes.
Are